What's up, everybody? My name is Tentacle, and welcome to the long-awaited bonus episode of ARMS. Last time, we took down the final level of the Grand Prix as Dr. Coyle, and we had a surprisingly easy time doing so. This bonus episode is going to be covering everything that I didn't show off in the main Let's Play. So, why don't we get things started with the Get Arms minigame? At the beginning of this Let's Play, I mentioned that any fighter could use any arm, and this Get Arms minigame is how you unlock arms for other fighters. I'll use Springman for this demonstration. Anyway, before the Get Arms minigame actually begins, you can pay gold to get a short timer worth 25 seconds, a medium timer worth 50 seconds, or a long timer worth 90 seconds. I think I'm gonna go with the long timer for this one, just so I can explain things to you guys really easily. Okay, so the basic parts of Get Arms are basically like skill shot. You have to punch all these targets to increase your score. Now, normally, right about now, there would be a drone that would appear, and it would be carrying a random box that had a fighter's face on it. And if you punch either the drone or the box, then you would be able to unlock a random arm for whatever fighter was on that box. But on my personal account, I already have all of the arms unlocked for every fighter. So that's why no drones are appearing right now. And as you guys probably saw a while ago, there were clocks that appeared, which extended the timer whenever I punched them. See, there's one right there. It always gives you 10 seconds, I think. If I'm wrong about that, then I'll put something on screen right now. But anyway, that's basically the basics of the Get Arms minigame. So, now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the gallery. This is nothing more than a way to spend your excess gold. You do get access to some pretty cool official art, like this, or this. Just some examples here. And sometimes you get access to a little bit of lore. So that's pretty cool, I guess. But other than that, it's not very exciting. Also, whenever you clear the Grand Prix at level 4 or higher with a fighter, then their end card is displayed in this gallery as well. You cannot buy those with gold. And next up, we have the other modes of the game, besides the Grand Prix. Versus is essentially your free-for-all mode. Up to 4 players can battle in the various modes that are found in the Grand Prix, like normal battles, V-ball, hoops, and skill shot. But there are also 2v2 team battles and the new Headlock Scramble mode, in which 2 players fight over control of Headlock. There's also a 1-on-100 battle mode and an arms test mode. Arms test is essentially a random battle with random arms, but you do get to choose which characters are in the battle, if that makes sense. Party Match is the online battle mode of this game. It pits you against random players from across the world in any of the modes that you have encountered in Versus, except for 1-on-100 and arms test, obviously. And exclusive to party matches is the Versus Headlock mode, in which 4 players get to battle a random headlock anywhere from level 4 to 7. Ranked matches are only 1-on-1 fights, similar to the Grand Prix, but depending on how well you win, you'll earn points and rank up. It's basically like the ranked battles in Splatoon 2. That's it for all the modes that aren't the Grand Prix. So let's move on to the 8 fighters I didn't choose in the Let's Play. This will be my chance to correct any mistakes I might have made when describing them, as well as add any new information. Starting things off is Ribbon Girl. Her main gimmick is that she has multiple mid-air jumps. Her signature arms include the Sparky, which is a basic electric arm, the Popper, which shoots 3 fast but weak wind projectiles, and the Slap-O-Mander, a firearm that behaves like a whip. Second is Master Mummy. He's only one of 3 heavyweight fighters in the game, and his main gimmick is that he restores 10 HP per second while guarding. That's pretty good. His signature arms include the Megaton, which is a big, bulky, and slow arm with no attributes, the Retorture, which shoots 3 fiery projectiles, similar to Mechanica's revolver arm, and the Phoenix, a fiery arm that flies in a sharp curve in the air. Third is Twintel. Her gimmick is that she releases an aura while charging that slows down incoming punches. And her signature arms are the Chilla, which is a basic ice arm, the Parasol, a wind arm that can block punches, and the Thunderbird, which is basically the same as Master Mummy's Phoenix arm, but this one is electric instead of fire. Up next are Bite and Bark. They're one of 2 duo fighters in the game, and Bite can use Bark as a springboard. Bark also uses his own toaster arm and punches every few seconds. It's spaced out in a certain interval, but I don't know exactly what it is. And Bark charges its arm whenever Bite charges his arms. Bite's signature arms include the Seiki, which is an electrified homing missile, similar to Mechanica's Homie arm, the Cracker, which is just like Ribbon Girl's Popper arm, except it's fire instead of wind, and the Bub, which is a basic arm that grows when charged and curves really well. Next up, we have Kid Cobra. He actually has 2 gimmicks. First off, he can dash repeatedly after fully charging his arms, and his arms are bigger than the other fighters. Kid Cobra's signature arms are the Slamamander, a whip-like arm infused with wind, the Hydra, which launches 3 fiery missiles in a vertical stack, and the Coolerang, which, as hinted by its name, is an ice boomerang arm. Max Brass is up next. He's the final boss of the Grand Prix on levels 1 through 4, just before you fight Headlock. And he's also a playable character. He deflects incoming punches when charging, just like Springman, and when he fully charges, that buffs him up temporarily, making him a heavyweight fighter. That's why I said there were 3 heavyweights in the game, because I technically consider Max Brass to be one of them. He also buffs up after a successful grab attack, and at 25% health or less, he'll be buffed up permanently until he goes down. What's unique about Max Brass's signature arms is that all of them are extremely inaccurate, but they're also really powerful. They are the Nade, which is a basic explosive arm, the Roaster, which is similar to Springman's Toaster arm, but it deals more damage when charged, and the Kablammer, an explosive hammer-like arm. Up next is Misongo. He's the only other duo fighter in the game, because he fights alongside a spirit partner of sorts. While Misongo is guarding, the spirit acts as a wall. And when Misongo fully charges his arms or touches the spirit while it's a wall, that will power him up in one of 3 ways, depending on what color the spirit is. If it's red, that powers up Misongo overall, increases the size of his arms, and reduces the damage he takes. Yellow fills his rush gauge faster, but makes him slightly slower and weaker in the process. If Misongo's spirit partner is blue when he fully charges or touches the spirit, that gives him a speed boost, but it also decreases the size of his arms and makes him slightly weaker. Oddly enough, all of Misongo's signature arms have the poison attribute, which means whenever your opponent gets hit with a charged punch from them, they'll steadily take damage. Up to 3 damage every, I believe it's every half second? I might be wrong. Anyway, Misongo's signature arms are the Scorpio, which acts differently based on when you punch. On the ground, it scuttles towards your opponent, then jumps to attack, and in the air, it flies in a sharp circle. The Glusher, which is similar to Helix's Blorb arm, because it bounces along the ground, and the Skelly, which is the fastest arm in the game, but it's also the weakest. And finally, we have the secret boss that I never got to show during the Let's Play. His name is Springtron. To fight him, you have to win every match in the Grand Prix at level 4 or higher without losing a single round. And Springtron is fought right before Max Brass. In battle, Springtron starts with a charge active, and he moves faster on the ground than other fighters by default. He can also deflect incoming punches when charging, just like Springman and Max Brass. When Springtron fully charges, that releases a shockwave that disables any incoming arms for a few seconds. And in the process, it also charges Springtron's arms and gives him a massive speed boost for 10 seconds. And the shockwave takes a half second to charge. So, all in all, that's a very, very annoying boss. Funnily enough, the reason why I saved Springtron for last is because he's also the last playable fighter I didn't choose. But as a playable character, he does not start with a charge, he doesn't have the ground speed boost, and he takes a whole second to fully charge instead of a half second. Now that all those are out of the way, there's one last topic I need to cover. And it's huge. I'm talking about the Party Crash mode. Party Crashes are sadly defunct now, but they were essentially this game's version of Splatfests. They always ran over 3 to 4 days and put 2 random fighters together in a popularity battle. There was a level up system similar to ranked matches, and using either of the 2 featured fighters allowed you to level up faster. You could also level up faster by using featured arms, which rotated every so often during the event. The party crashes themselves were the same as regular party matches, but a certain bonus rule was active every 15 minutes. And that really shook things up. You could get something like bigger arms, only hoops matches, only one-on-one matches, infinite rush attacks, and even the chance to fight the dreaded level 8 headlock. The possibilities were pretty much endless. At the end of the party crash, you would get rewarded with gold and badges depending on how well you did. If you reached level 10, you would get 2 badges for the featured fighter that you used the most. Every 5 levels after that would give you another random badge, capping at level 30. And that is everything there is to cover in ARMS. Like I said in the finale stream, I really enjoyed playing through this game again, especially after Min Min was revealed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Until next time, this is Tentacle signing out. Take care, everybody.